Tell us what you actually found in terms of the telomeres and the omnivore versus vegan. And it should be noted that you did a healthy omnivore diet
Absolutely.
versus and the other twin had a healthy vegan diet so that it was not biased, like Dotsie and I talk about how you can rig studies so that it's if it's a junk food diet that the omnivore has, it's clear that the vegan is going to do better. But here it was healthy on both counts. And it was I was it isocaloric too, having the same amount of calories
Had the
or
same amount of calories. Now,
first month?
you have to sort of parse this out. So they started out with the same amount of calories, but for one reason or another, the vegans were eating less. They weren't eating everything on their plate. So about 200 calories less. So they were being slightly caloric deficient, but it wasn't by design. It was just that.
Well, that's one of the reasons that the doctors we have on say that eating a whole food plant-based diet can often help you lose weight because you naturally lose less, you eat less because of the bulk of the foods. My point being that maybe one of the reasons they didn't eat everything was not because they didn't like the food, because we actually heard in the movie that they actually enjoyed the food, but it was more that when you have a whole food plant-based diet, it's more has more volume per calorie.
That was that people weren't used to eating that much. It's counterintuitive, right? Because most people wanted to, you know, gain muscle and lose weight. Let's say, that was their people's general objective. That's really difficult to do on any diet. But what they did was, they lost weight. Their blood pressure got better. Their cholesterol improved, and almost every other marker it improved as well too. And I mean, some of it was really dramatic. TMAO, TMAO is one of these compounds that that's found only in meat and whole dairy foods, yogurts, whole milk, that kind of stuff. And it just goes up and up and up on an omnivore diet. And there's nothing you need. TMAO is just a bad news all the way around, and it just fell precipitously with the vegans. And so they looked better. They had more energy. They um, and the TMA levels just dropped off to almost nothing. And then it started to make sense. Like when you start to sort of line it up with what's going on in the blue zones, that people had, they're living longer. I think we might have talked about this maybe we didn't talk about this in the last podcast, but one of the blue zones in America is not too far from you guys in Loma Linda, about 70 miles east of LA. And on the north side of the highway, Interstate 10, bisects the
Mhm.
country in the south. On the north side is San Bernardino, one of the unhealthiest populations in the entire state of California. People dropping like flies over there, all sorts of chronic diseases, where incidentally they had the first McDonald's. And then on the other side of the highway, Loma Linda, on the south side of the highway, you have Loma Linda, one of the healthiest populations in the entire world.
Mhm.
And it's also one of the largest populations. I think it's the largest concentration of Seventh-day Adventists. The Seventh-day Adventists are a religious group. Uh, you know, they're, they look at the Bible and what was said in Genesis as the gospel truth or fact. And I think there's a clause in there that says something like, "Let the fruit of the trees be thy meat."
Mhm.
And so it's by design, Loma Linda is pretty healthy because there's a lot of Loma Lindens there that are Seventh Day Adventists. And you go to the equivalent of their Whole Foods there, which is actually called the Loma Linda Market. They don't even sell meat there. You
Mhm.
can't buy it. You know,
Yeah.
there's the there's of course the milk aisle is all mostly plant-based milks now.
Mhm.
There's some dairy there, but they don't have meat. And you go to the gym there has about 350 people. No, I take that back. There's 350 people over 75 years old that go to the gym, and they're like like with little weights in the pool skipping around. They're like on the parallel bars. They're doing pull-ups with using their full body weight, and it's like that scene out of Cocoon, like where these people are like where what are they doing? Yeah, they look like they're old people, but they're not acting like old people. That was
Yeah.
really exciting. I mean, it's really, and this is, I
Yeah.
shot that, several years ago now, but it was really astounding how you could see these two populations and so different.